Hi everybody out there, this is Danielle. I'm making this video for everybody who's interested in learning how to crochet. For this project, to get started, you'll need a crochet hook. Any size will do. This is a H hook, size 5mm. You'll need some string, whatever kind you have lying around, or you can purchase some pretty inexpensively. Sometimes you might need a tape measure and a pair of scissors. To get started, we want to get our yarn on the crochet hook. What we're going to do is create what's called a slip knot. You take the end of your yarn, and with these yarns you get yarn, it will come out the middle, or you can pull some off the end on the other side. It's just up to you which side you want to use. Personally, I like pulling from the middle. So to create a slip knot, you're going to take your 2 fingers and wrap your string around, kind of like so. Hopefully this is getting recorded. And then you can either take your crochet hook in your other hand, wrap it under this first, pull, and then turn it, grab the second string, and then just tighten like so. And then you usually have to pull both sides of the string to make it tighter on the hook. Okay, so that's your slip knot. I'll do it again because I know when I learned, it took me definitely a few times to learn. Some other ways you could do it if you don't want to use your crochet hook is just wrap your yarn around your 2 fingers here, pull it through so you have like a loop, pull the other side tight, and then you can put your crochet hook in and tighten. Sometimes you need an extra hand, it seems like. Okay, so that's your slip knot. And with your slip knot, you'll always have a tail, which is shorter than, say, your working yarn, which is going to be attached to the skein. So we'll do the slip knot one more time. And to pull it's nice, the slip knot, because you can just kind of pull it and it will just straighten back out again. So I'll try and go really slow. Just wrap it around your 2 fingers. Oh, I gotta start over. Okay, I'm thinking too much. Okay, and I'll try it with my right hand, because you can use either hand, but you kind of like wrap it around so you have like a X kind of, and then just grab, put your fingers through, grab that string, pull the tail, and then you got, well, this is a big slip knot, but you put your crochet hook in and pull tight. Now, the next thing we can do is called chaining. And to chain, you're just going to add more stitches. And what you're going to do, let me move this around here. You're going to, there we go. I like to hold the tail in my right hand, like so. Kind of like if you're going to whisk something up. And then take the working yarn in my left hand and point the hook towards yourself. You're going to take your working yarn, holding it in these 4 fingers here and your thumb, and you're going to what's called yarn over. You're going to bring the yarn towards yourself. Now this is a little tricky. Once you're learning, you gotta kind of hold down here, but then you're gonna take that hook, bring it through that loop, and you just made your first chain. Okay, so now you got your first chain. Some people like to hold it like a pencil now. It's got this flat area, and then you can go from there. You'll take the working yarn, again, yarn over, kind of hold it with your thumb and forefinger at the bottom here. You're going to pull that loop through. You got a second chain. Okay, a third chain. Fourth chain. 5, 6. Oh. 7. Okay, and it looks like a braid almost, but each one of these is a chain, and we'll just chain like, let's say 15 chains. Okay, so 7, 8. The next step is to work the next row, and we're going to do a single crochet. To do a single crochet, you'll just want to end your row here. So say you're looking at a pattern and it will say chain 22 stitches or something. You'll chain your 22 stitches, and then you're going to chain 1, okay. Now you don't want to go into that chain that you just created. You're going to go to the next one, which is this one, and I like to face the braid like towards myself so you can see where your chains are. Okay, so this is a chain that we just stitched, and this is our chain 15 right here. So we're going to go into that chain 15 right in the middle or under that loop. Okay, and then we're going to grab our working yarn, pull through. We've got 2 loops now on our crochet hook. Now the single crochet, you're going to yarn over again and pull through both of those loops. And that's your first stitch, single crochet stitch. Okay, I'm going to pull some more yarn. To continue on, we're going to go into our next stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull through. Again, we've got 2 loops on a crochet hook, yarn over, pull through both of those loops. Okay, and it's hard to see, but we're starting to get like a little bit of work here that we could see. Yarn out. Oh, nope, my bad. Okay, we're gonna go back into our third stitch now. Pull through. Okay. And then our next stitch. Yarn over, grab the string, yarn over again, pull through both stitches. We have single crocheted our first row. Should look something like that. Now we're into our last stitch, or chain rather. You can see there's one on the top. Let's go right in the middle, pull that through, yarn over. There. So we just finished our first row. To get to our second row, we're gonna chain one. Okay, and then turn our work. So we're just gonna turn the whole thing away from us. So now this is like considered the back, and this is the front there. Okay, make sure your tail is kind of off to the side. You don't want to loop that tail in just yet anyways. So to start our second row, we have already chained one, so we're going to look at the top here. That's our chain one. So we're going to go into this next stitch, and what I like to do, how I learned was you go through the top like 2 stitches. If you hold your crochet and look down on it from the top, you can see that braid type thing. So you go through the middle of the row under the two top stitches here. Okay, you do the same process. You grab your working yarn. There's those 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through. And I'm just gonna look at the top there, pull through, grab our yarn, yarn over, pull through, and you'll know you're doing it right because you're gonna start having a square, like a 90-degree angle here. If you've missed a stitch or something along those lines, you'll start kind of going off to the side. Your work won't be even. So we're going to do the same thing we did before. Crochet 1, turn our work, grab our working yarn, go into our first stitch, in the top two there. Pull through. Alright guys, I'm going to finish this off and do a few more rows, and then I'll show you how to tie off your string. Okay guys, so I just crocheted a few more rows, and this is what you should have. Now, depending on how tightly you crochet or how much tension is in your hands, you will either have a tighter or a looser stitch. We're gonna go ahead and finish this little piece here, and you can just imagine if this was like a pot holder or like even a scarf. Okay, so what you want to do is you're on your last row here and you finished your last stitch. You're gonna yarn over, pull through, and I just like to make this loop pretty big, like so. You're gonna take your scissors and make sure you cut the right one, this one here that moves. You don't want to cut this one, because then you're going to end up with a really short piece of yarn. So you want to cut the one that moves. I feel like there we go. Those are not the greatest scissors, but anyways, pull that out. You're now detached from your ball of yarn, and you have your project finished. Now, to get rid of these ends, what we do is take embroidery needle, or not embroidery, but like a large yarn needle, tapestry needle, I don't know what you want to call it, but let me go grab one, I'll show you. Here's a tapestry needle, embroidery needle. The eye is pretty big, and I have it yarned from another project, but you pull your yarn through. Sometimes that's a little bit difficult if you don't have like a threader or something, but it does work. And then imagine that this is what's in this needle. You would just literally like sew in your end into your work, and it just comes out pretty good. You just kind of would poke it through each stitch, just whatever you want to do, and kind of weave it in. And you can just go in one stitch, out the other, in the next stitch, like weaving it back and forth. So pretend that this black yarn is really the green yarn, okay, and then you just weave that end in, and we're gonna pull the whole thing through. So then you're left with yarn that is not able to be seen in your work. because it would blend in pretty good. Okay, so now this other one is pretty short, the tail here. So what we could do with that is take your crochet hook, kind of pull it over to the edge here, pull it through, and just kind of weave it through with your crochet hook. If anybody knows a different way, please let me know, as I'm pretty new to crocheting myself. Okay, you just kind of wrap that around. I don't know why that looks like that though, but alrighty, I digress. And you can go in from the other side too. Grab your yarn, just however you want to do it. There is really no right and wrong way, and everybody has their own way of crocheting. So I think that's in there pretty good. So I'm just gonna trim this end off. Alright, and that's your beginning crochet, single stitch. Alright, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time.